Hey, what is going on, everybody? It's your girl Janine from Rock and Rewind. And as you can see, we have a video going on right now, which means that we are doing an interview. I have a very special guest with me here today, Mr. Ryan Spencer Cook. He is from Hair of the Dog, Ace Frehley Band, Gene Simmons Band. Ryan, thank you so much for being here. How's it going?
Hi, Janine. How are you?
Good, good.
Everything's going just great, and I can't think of a better way to start the weekend than seeing you on this show. So this is awesome. Thanks for having me.
Likewise. Thank you so much. So tell us, where are you in the world right now? Where are you tuning in from?
I'm currently at my home in Brentwood, Tennessee, which is a suburb of Nashville. I'm probably 12, 14 minutes from downtown Nashville, and here I am with you on this Friday.
Yay, gotcha. And we are tuning in from Texas for anybody that's wondering. So we're doing the whole Zoom thing, which is something new that a lot of people are doing now from COVID. So welcome to our new normal.
I got to tell you, you and I, probably you being in radio and me doing what I do, I feel like you and I, if you're anything like me, I knew nothing about Zoom. But now after the last year and a half, I am a Zoom professional.
There we go. Add it to the resume as far as everyone else like doing quarantine stuff. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So are we catching you at a time right now that is a calm before the storm, before you head off to tour?
Yes. I'm so grateful and so excited. And, people usually don't like storms. And I am so geared up and ready for this storm. I can't stand it. It's going to be a good storm.
It's a good storm.
I'm pretty sure the storm you're talking about is the upcoming Ace Frehley, Alice Cooper Fall Tour 2021. Yeah.
Oh man. So that is like right around the corner.
It really is.
September 17th.
Yeah. We actually, here's the way that tour goes. Coop begins September 17th. And then Ace Frehley, I'm in Ace's band. We joined the tour the next night, September 18th in Guilford, New Hampshire. So that's the first night of the package of the tour. But you are correct. I think Alice begins in Atlantic City the night before us on the 17th. Yeah. So for whatever reason, we're not doing that. But we do begin the next night, September 18th. And that leg of the tour runs through October 22nd in Tupelo, Mississippi, home of Elvis Presley.
Yes, Elvis. That is actually who's in my mug right here.
Oh, I love it.
How funny is that?
Man, I love Elvis.
Yes.
I love Elvis. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So awesome. So that is going on until October 23rd, correct?
Yeah.
So your bag is packed. You're ready?
You know what? Believe it or not, they kind of are. I'm OCD, self-admitted, and a bit of a nerd. And it's just there are a lot of T's to cross and I's to dot before you go on tour. And I really have already been getting my stuff ready because we'll be leaving for rehearsals in not too long. And I'm just I was never a Boy Scout, but I'm well prepared.
Yeah.
So I'm getting ready to go.
Gotcha. So were you the kid back in school that got like his outfit for the first day of school ready like 2 days before and laid it out?
You know what? That wasn't me. I wasn't that much, but I'm pretty sure my mom had it all ready to go for me before.
Okay, got it. Well, hey, you picked it up and that's working out for you as far as touring goes and everything. You're right. Ready. Okay.
Yeah. So not as much outfits, but all my strings, all my cables, all my picks, all my stuff, it's all ready to go.
Your school supplies.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I do want to talk about the tour, of course.
Please.
But before that, I really want to get the viewers and listeners a chance to get to know you and your background because you have quite the resume and quite the wild ride leading up to where you are today, So I want to get into Hair of the Dog. Okay.
Sure. So absolutely.
You grew up in Topeka, Kansas, right?
Topeka, Kansas, which is the capital of Kansas.
And then you headed out to LA. Was that to work with Hair of the Band? Is that how that started?
No. You know what's really weird is I grew up in Topeka, which is a beautiful town, city. It is the capital of Kansas. But you couldn't get any more Midwest than Topeka, Kansas. And that's not a slight on the city or the town itself. Anybody who lives there will tell you we're the middle of the map, And culturally, we were usually the last to find out about everything.
Mm-hmm.
We did not have that advantage of Los Angeles, California, Hollywood, or Manhattan, New York City, that kind of thing. My outlet to the outside world of music was Circus Magazine, Hip Parader Magazine, all that stuff. So that being said, growing up, always wanting to do music, I knew I was going to have to split at some point to meet with the people I wanted to meet with and to get to kind of try to fast track things. So I actually was in Nashville for the first time. I was in Nashville before I got moved to Los Angeles.
Okay.
So I was here first for whatever reason. I wasn't quite ready to go to LA. But as I got here and got involved in the music industry right away, I started working closely with a lot of people that were tied to the exactly the world I wanted to be in. And then I got moved here from Nashville moved to Los Angeles a year and a half later after being in Nashville. So it went Kansas, Nashville, Los Angeles, back here to Nashville.
Yes. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
And so Hair of the Dog, this was the 90s.
It was.
Right. Okay.
It
so
was.
How did that happen? Was that a band that you started or a band that you were called into?
Yeah. What happened was there was somebody who I know, because you're a big music fan, someone I know that you're really familiar with is a producer, songwriter, artist named Desmond Child. Okay.
Yeah.
I found out about Desmond Child in 1979 when Kiss released a song called I Was Made for Loving You on Dynasty album.
Yes.
Desmond wrote that song with Paul Stanley. And I was the kid that looked over the record credits and did everything. I had to know everything about everybody. And I saw Desmond. And then you get, that was 1979 and you're into the 80s. And then all of a sudden I start seeing Desmond's name pop up everywhere. Bon Jovi, Aerosmith, Kiss, Alice Cooper, Des wrote Living on a Prayer. He wrote I Was Made for Loving You. He wrote Dude Looks Like a Lady. He wrote Poison, and all this stuff. And I'm just thinking, who is this guy? I mean, this guy's just amazing. Well, I was working at a publishing company here in Nashville as a tape copy guy. And Desmond happened to come in from LA to write with some of our writers, heard me sing. And he said, hey, man, I'm working with the band in Los Angeles. You'd be perfect.
Oh, my God.
And I got sent to LA to audition. And it worked out. I moved out there 2 months later. What that band was eventually became Hair of the Dog. And that's how the whole thing started and happened. So it was it's storybookish to me. It might not be to someone else, but when you're a kid from Topeka, Kansas, getting that shot and having someone ask you to do it, it was pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's pretty
absolutely.
Cool. Yeah.
So would you consider that the band that started everything for you?
For me, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Growing up, I started playing guitar as a young kid, and I was like every other kid that played an instrument. I had a little junior high band, had a high school band. I had a band that actually started playing bars and stuff right as I got out of high school. But that's the band where I began to get known by not only artists I was a fan of, it became peers.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of work, but I became known in that community. And that is if it wasn't for that band, I don't think, and Desmond, you and I might not be lucky enough to sit here and talk to you today. So I'm really grateful for all of it. Yeah.
And likewise. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks.
Wow. Okay. So, and Hair of the Dog, didn't you just release a special edition?
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
Tell me
Thank you for asking about that. And if I knew what I was doing, I'd have a copy of it sitting here, and I don't. But Hair of the Dog released 3 albums. And recently it was all remastered, a couple things remixed by Michael Wagner on 180 gram. It's a double LP, 180 gram gatefold record. The artwork is amazing. The sound quality is amazing. It's so fun. And it's a retrospective of all 3 records. And it's called HOTD, which is for Hair of the Dog, HOTD Big Bones. And you can find it at linsleyrecords.com. linsleyrecords.com. It's on Spotify. It's on iTunes. It's on YouTube. It's on Amazon Prime. It's everywhere.
Yes, and I was about to ask where people could find that. So there we go. Perfect.
All those formats. It's available. and I will send you a copy of the record if you listen to
Oh
mine.
my
I'll send you
God.
one.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank
I'd
you
be
so
happy to.
much. Oh, that
Yeah,
is awesome. What a
yeah,
guy. What a guy.
yeah.
Awesome. And so with Hair of the Dog, we had a fan actually request a story from you. And
I love it.
let me pull that up right now.
Sure.
And it is a story that I believe has a lot of promise. You have also been referred to as an amazing storyteller, which I do not doubt.
Well, that's
So,
sweet.
and so Hair of the Dog. Okay. This
Yeah.
is from Happy Dane 27. I believe her name is
Okay.
Darcy. She wanted
Darcy.
to, Darcy,
Sure. Hi,
Darcy.
Darcy.
And she said, ask Ryan about when Lemmy came to the studio to sing the Hair of the
Oh,
Dog song, I Am the Law. Best story
wow.
ever. I assume she's talking about the Lemmy of Motorhead, right?
That's right. Thanks,
So,
Darcy. That's a great memory. That is really great. We know Lemmy passed away from
yes.
cancer a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I had the distinct pleasure of not only meeting him, but also got to tour with him. Hair of the Dog tour. It was a crazy tour. Hair of the Dog, Nashville Pussy, and Motorhead. Okay, and that was a crazy tour. It was just so fun.
All I heard in
And
my head when you said that lineup was like leather.
yeah, right. And a lot of denim.
Yeah.
A lot of denim leather.
Oh, so yes, keep going.
Yeah. And so I used to see Lemmy. Lemmy lived around the corner from a restaurant bar called the Rainbow Bar and Grill
His
in
place.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's on in Hollywood, and he lived right around the corner. He's walking distance. So we did the tour with them for a few months, had a great time. I'm fortunate to say we became friends. And then we were, working on this record and everything. And there's this one song called The Law. And there's a point where it goes, I am the law, and that's the tagline.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, wouldn't it be cool to have Lemmy's voice? It just lends perfectly to that. So we took a shot. Our manager called his manager. They said, yes, he would do it. And then our manager said, well, here's the thing. Contracts, all that kind of thing. Can we please get that worked out? Compensation wise, how much shall we pay him? What's his rate and all that? And the manager came back with, you know what? How about this? Don't pay him, but Lemmy doesn't drive.
Stop it.
Yeah. If you'll get him a car service that day to take him to the dentist, to pick him up, take him to the dentist, he can come to the dentist studio and sing on your song.
Oh my God.
And we're like, wait a minute. We're happy to pay him. And I'm like, I'll go give him a ride. They're like, no. He would really prefer to have just have a town car come get him. So he did. We had a town car go pick up Lemmy, take him to the dentist. He must not have had anything too invasive done because he came straight from the dentist to the studio to sing with us.
Was he like numbed up or anything? Or
see, that's the thing.
We don't know, but it was great.
Who knows? Yeah. But it's Lemmy. His tolerance for all things was very high. So who knows what went on at the dentist that day.
That is
but
wild.
we said, are you sure we can't get him anything? And they go, yeah, just a bottle of Jack and a couple bags of potato chips.
Potato chips. Oh my God. Do you remember what kind of potato chips?
We did. We sent the studio assistant out to Ralph's, which is the local chain like Kroger or whatever.
Yeah,
and we said, get every flavor. We had nacho cheese, we had Cool Ranch, we had barbecue, we had salt and vinegar, we had sour cream. We had all these chips and a big handle of Jack, and it was great. It was good memory.
Oh my God. He's like, you know what? The dentist was like, you can have a lollipop just for like shits and giggles. He's like, no. I have every kind of chip waiting for me over here with these guys.
Oh yeah. It was great. That was a good time.
Oh my God.
And that song wound up on our third record called Ignite.
Yes.
And he's in there. He's on there forever. I got to sing. He sang the entire course with me. And there's video footage somewhere of he and I singing together and messing around. And it took about 20 minutes to get it done. And I think he was there for about 9 hours. And we just hung out, and it was great.
Eating chips all of the chips
Eating
and all the
chips,
Jack.
drinking Jack. Hey, what I guess what guys do, right?
Oh my God. That I did not expect that story
Yeah.
line,
Well,
like
yeah.
at
How
all.
could you?
That was
Yeah.
amazing. Okay. Thank you, Darcy. Thank you
Yeah.
so
Thanks,
much.
Darcy. Yeah. That's
That
great.
is amazing. Wow. So
Yeah.
before we move on from Hair of
Yeah.
the Dog, I kind of want to get into a little something that was really coincidental that happened to me the day
Sure.
before, actually the day of that you and I got in contact with each other to
Okay.
do a segment on the show. So the day before, a couple of hours before, I was about to go to work and I had some time to kill. So I put on my Pandora radio station
Yeah.
because I still use Pandora.
All
And
right.
I picked up right where I left off and it was on Kiss radio station. Okay.
Yeah.
First little thing to the story. And the very first song that came on was Poison by Alice Cooper. Okay. And then the song right after that was Hair of the Dog by Nazareth. Okay.
See?
And I thought nothing of this because at the time you and I had not even spoken.
We
Right.
hadn't.
And then
No.
I went about my day, went to work, came home, and by the end of the day, you and I were talking about doing the show. And I had not put the pieces together until like we talked and I was like, okay, Ryan, like my mind went Ace Frehley, Gene Simmons, Kiss, Alice Cooper, Tour, Ryan, Hair of the Dog. Why am I getting like deja vu right now? What is
Yep.
going on? And then it hit me. I was like, Pandora. And I'm so into like serendipity and like signs from the universe
Yeah.
and stuff. And then I went back because I was like, I'm not tripping out. This actually happened. Right. And I have the screenshots right here. I was like, literally Kiss radio.
Oh
You
my
can't
God.
see it, but it's there. Right. It's real.
I love it.
Alice Cooper, right next to it is Hair of the Dog by Nazareth. And I was
Unbelievable.
like, okay, universe, I see you. And now we're here.
See? And that's just it. The universe knows. It does.
The universe knows. Yeah. And
That's just awesome.
right.
It's awesome. See, it was meant to be for us to talk. This is
the
great.
stars were aligned.
Yeah.
Dude. And speaking of stars being aligned, let's talk about how the stars aligned for you to meet Philip and Jeremy to form the band that came to work with Gene and Ace. How did that happen?
It was crazy. So I was back in Nashville at this point. Good friend of mine who I'm proud to say I'm friends with is a guy named Doc McGee.
Yeah. Okay.
My neighbor for over 10 years around the corner. Okay. He no longer lives in that neighborhood, but we became friends.
Yeah.
And if there's anybody watching who doesn't know Doc, he's Kiss's current manager. He's been managing them since the reunion. He got on board in '95. The reunion tour began in '96. Doc's been with them ever since. I knew about him all those years prior because he managed Motley Crue, Bon Jovi, the Scorpions. Even way back, he had time with the Average White Band, Pat Travers, James. I mean, everything. His resume is outstanding. Anyway, he and I would see each other several times a week because we're neighbors, because we're friends. We were hanging out. He hit me up one day and said, listen, you're not going to believe this. Kiss is going to do a cruise. And I'm like, you got to be kidding. I'd never been on a cruise ship in my life. So I had this band at the time, which was an 80s metal review type of thing. White Snake, Bon Jovi, Poison, Motley, Rat. You get it, right?
Yeah.
We were really popular here in Nashville, and Doc used to come see us quite a bit. So he said, look, Kiss is going to do a cruise. Big Rock Show would be great. You should do it. Okay, great. We'll do it. We became really popular with that Kiss cruise crowd. So popular that we got invited back the first 7 or 8 years in a row to do every Kiss cruise.
Oh,
right?
My God. Yeah.
And at some point on every cruise, I'd look over, there's Kiss watching us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then they see us the next year. And they see us the next year. Now, I'd met Paul and Gene several times in Los Angeles when I was in Hair of the Dog, but it was only, I can't even say we were not friends. We were barely acquaintances. They would just see me and go, oh, yeah, that guy. Because, at that point, Hair the Dog was doing well enough to, well, we started being seen in a lot of magazines and stuff. Sorry, I saw there was a weird light back there. And anyway, so we're doing all these cruises. One year, to my surprise, we were playing I Stole Your Love off of a Love Gun by Kiss. And someone pushes me from the mic. It's Paul. You know, so Paul's up there singing with us and everything. And that just shows you how aware they were of the band. And it was very nice of him to do that, right? So the next year, for whatever reason, Big Rock Show was not on the cruise, but I was with Rachel Bolan from Skid Row, because he and I are good friends, and we were doing an event. And before the cruise, I got an email from Six Man, the cruise company, saying, hey, Gene Simmons is trying to get a hold of you. Like, okay. Which was really weird that he called Six Man, because he just could have asked Doc, but I just guess he didn't connect the dots, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sorry for that long story, but it gets you to where we are. I met with Gene on the boat. I didn't know what he wanted. Honestly, I had no idea. We got together. We just started talking, hanging out. I hung out with him, had lunch for about an hour. At the end, he finally goes, look, I'm going to do a solo tour. I've watched you all these years. How would you feel about putting together a band for me? And I'm like,
how do I feel? I mean, I'll give you an offer you can't refuse.
And I apologize for that long story, but that's how it happened. And he told me, I'll never forget, he goes, I don't care who you get. I don't care what they look like, but you're responsible for them, whoever them will be. And I just want a great band. And I'm like, I already know who I'm calling. And Jeremy was in Big Rock Show with me already. Yeah. And I had initially called Phil to be in Big Rock Show. I didn't even know Jeremy yet. And Phil couldn't do it because he had another gig. We all became friends, the three of us, because of Kiss. And then the fact that this opportunity was presented, it just took off from there. And then, you know, for the next 2.5 years, we were Gene Simmons' band, and he literally drug us around the world.
Oh my God. The universe knows.
It does. And again, like I told you earlier, to me, this is all storybook stuff. I mean, it's movie stuff. The gravity of it has never been lost on me of what I am getting to do.
Right.
You know, and I love it. I just love it. And Gene has been great. And then Ace was asked to be Gene's support act when we went to Australia. And he asked Gene if he would mind if we could be his band too.
I was about to ask. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And Gene said, sure, ask Ryan. And, you know, private. So when I said that, I wasn't certain. And I was like, is he doing that to be nice to Ace and go, yeah, just ask him. So, and this is no secret, Ace knows this. Privately, I got back to Gene before I answered Ace and said, do you really bless this? Are you really okay with it? And he told me, yeah, he was. He says, as long as you don't feel like it's too much work for you guys. It's like, you kidding me?
Yeah, yeah.
So when the farewell tour began, Ace, he just kind of handed us over to Ace, and we've been with Ace ever since. So there aren't many guys that can say that they have been the backup band for half of the original members of Kiss. So I'm really proud of that.
Literally. Yeah. And when you guys were in Australia, I mean, that was like a 2-in-1.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. So did you just like lie in bed and you were like, I was like dreaming of this? Like back then, you know, as people like that are into rock and roll with me, like me and everything, like we have dreams of meeting celebrities, meeting our idols. You know, let's say you used to have dreams about like playing with half of Kiss in one night in Australia. You wake up and you're like, that was a crazy dream. That's your reality now. And now your crazy dreams are probably you waking up in a cold sweat like, I just had the craziest dream. I was in an office working a 9 to 5. Like that was weird. Time to wake up and like go to work. Let me reply to this email from Gene.
Yeah, right. I know, isn't it crazy?
Oh my God.
It's crazy. It's like I said earlier, the weight of this whole scene it has not lifted from me for 1 second or one day. And I don't mean that like it's a heavy weight. I mean it because it's heavy in a spiritual kind of way, because I mean, I really am grateful. I recognize that there are better guitar players than me, better singers than me, that kind of thing. People, whether they're at my skill level, above it or below it, that would die to have this gig. And it's not lost on me for 1 second how fortunate I am to do it. What a dream come true it is for me to do it, because, you know, like I said, I grew up loving Kiss as my favorite band.
Yes.
But I'm also proud of it too, because I worked my butt off.
Yeah.
I did. And I don't feel like it's just something that was randomly handed to me because I was right place at the right time. I can honestly tell you in my heart of hearts that I feel like I have put in the hours to be given this opportunity. I'm not saying I deserve it. I'm saying that I definitely put in the time and there's a lot of sweat equity that was involved in it. And I'm happy to say that I did work my butt off, and it didn't just happen because I just happened to be, you know, turning around the corner and bump into Gene Simmons, and he goes, "Oh, you look like you're able to be playing a band." You know, it didn't happen like that. So that's good. It's
and
good.
The thing that I wanted to point out is that you guys as a band playing, whether it be with Gene or with Ace, there is a special ingredient there. And that being, you guys are not just hired guns. You are diehard Kiss fans at the core.
Yeah.
And seeing you guys play is just something else. Like, I have not had the opportunity to see you guys live, but I see recordings, you know, and I'm sure that anyone that has done either or can back this up. You guys are loving it, and you have it on lock. You really bring, I mean, of course, like, whether it be Gene or Ace, they're the belle of the ball. That's no question.
Sure, of course.
But as a band, you guys, oh my God, you really bring the energy out of the songs.
Oh, thank
through
you.
your instruments and to the audience. They bring it back. Like, it's so fun. And it's so, my God. And like how it sounds too, not only the attitude and the energy, but the mastery of like what you guys are playing. Like, you know that those are Kiss fans. That's like,
and they're tough. Kiss fans are tough. There's no room for error. There's no room for anything interpretation. But first of all, thank you for everything you said. That was very kind and generous of you to say that, and I appreciate all that. Thank you. But no, we try to do everything exactly like the record, unless we're told otherwise by Gene or Ace, because we do know that Kiss fans are a little harder to please than normal. I don't want to say normal, than fans of other bands.
They want to hear it how it is, you know, like how it originally is. Yeah,
it is. And so we always try to be really true to that. I mean, I will tell you that it's weird. The three of us kind of have the same brain. And it's scary because I've played with a lot of different people, but I've never had the thing like that as I do with these two guys. And I it's safe to say that I can tell you they feel the same way. You know, I don't like to speak on other people's behalf very much, but here I will say that they know that we definitely know that we have a chemistry, the three of us. And I really do enjoy it. And people are always like, "Oh my God, I go see you and you're just always smiling so much." And that, honestly, I do believe that, because I am having a good time and I do see photos, but that's for real. Those I'm not up there playing going, "Oh, smile, look like you're having fun." It's don't forget to smile.
Yeah, it's like I don't have to even remember to smile. You know, it's second nature.
It's for real.
Yeah.
And that's not just for me. I can speak, like I said, for all the guys, that we're just so truly loving it. And it's really, really great. And, you know, we haven't played with Ace since December 14th, 2019. So I think you can only imagine how thrilled and excited and anxious and grateful and everything we are for this upcoming tour.
Yes, exactly. And you know how your parents would like tell you, like, if you made a funny face, like, oh, your face is gonna get stuck like that. I'm sorry to tell you, Ryan, but if you keep playing with like Ace and Gene, like your face is gonna get stuck like that. It's gonna be a
Oh, you know
permanent
what?
smile.
I think it already happened. I think it already happened. Yeah.
Literally, yeah. Cause like a lot of the questions that I was getting, because I posted on social media, I was like, oh, if you have a question for Ryan, and
Yeah.
more so than questions, everybody was just like talking about how happy you always are and to like
Oh
play at
man,
everything and the smile on your face. I was like, yeah,
that's
I
really
know.
nice. That's really nice. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, amazing. And I don't know if you ever thought about it that way. Going back to like how you guys are like hardcore Kiss fans
Yeah.
at the root of everything. I'm sure each and every single one of you individually back when in your adolescence or whenever you guys started like picking up guitar or getting into
Mhm,
Kiss,
mhm.
y'all must have spent hours
Oh,
learning the songs, playing the songs, dissecting everything,
yeah.
you
Well,
know.
I mean, yeah, absolutely we did. And, you know, it was never, it's just a trip. It's so fun because, we did start at a fairly young age.
Hmm.
Uh, the thing was, it's so cool, like of all those hours and seconds and minutes and days and years and months and, time in and of itself, it wasn't like algebra and it wasn't like math or anything like that you had to go home and work on that you had to do. This was like something we chose,
Yes.
like I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna spend it, and I do get it, all kidding aside. It's like, wouldn't it be awesome if every kid took school that seriously, you
Hmm.
know and I do realize that that would be an awesome thing, but kids are kids. I didn't particularly care for school. I like the social aspect of it. I wasn't a bookworm or
Yeah.
anything. I did homework. I did the schoolwork because I had to do the schoolwork. There was no way around it. This was chosen. I chose it,
Hmm.
and I wanted to do it, and I wanted to spend a lot of time on it. And that's why I was telling you earlier. Uh, you know, I feel like that I put in the time
Hmm.
and the effort to try to get something like this happening. So I'm grateful for it while it lasts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I don't know if you ever thought about it like this or any of the other guys, but in a sense, like with all the hours spent into like dedicating that time to learning Kiss and appreciating Kiss, in a sense, you guys were training for this gig your entire
Uh,
lives, but you didn't even know it.
That's right. And you know what? You just literally stole the words out of my mouth, because I've told people that, like, certain questions are come up and that answer gets triggered. Like, I trained for this my whole life and did not
Mm-hmm.
even know that I was doing it. You know what my
Mm-hmm.
biggest dream was?
What?
Was, um, well, one of them, because I wanted to get a record deal and tour the world, and that happened
Yeah.
before any of this happened.
Mm-hmm.
But I loved Kiss so much, and I held them on such a pedestal. I never in my entire life dreamed that I would play with a guy in Kiss, like in the same band. As close as I thought I would get to them was one of my big dreams was to get a record deal, get signed, and go on tour as the opening act for Kiss. That's that was the biggest dream for me. Was, oh my God, could you imagine if my band supported Kiss for 4 months? That that was, and I thought that was as close as I would get to those guys. If you would have told me that I was going to be the backing band for two of those guys, I would have
Mm-hmm.
just gone, there's really no way possible that that could ever happen.
My
What a
God,
trip.
that
Yeah.
is insane to even
Yeah.
think about and for you to experience
Yeah.
yourself. Because I was gonna ask, like, was that the goal whenever you like saw Kiss? You were like, I'm gonna play with those guys. It was,
All,
I'm gonna open for those guys.
yep.
Little did you know, I'm
Yep.
gonna be in a band with half of Kiss.
Yeah. Yeah. It was always, I'm going to open for those guys. Or,
Yeah.
man, I hope. Yeah. Oh God, that's because it's the only thing that's the only logical thing that seemed attainable.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
in relation to Kiss, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? That was the only thing that seemed attainable. You know, I mean, it's just, like I said, it's storybook stuff, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes I feel like
Wow.
Mark Wahlberg in Rockstar,
Uh-huh.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I know I'm fortunate and I'm grateful. So it's cool.
Oh my God. Well, thank you so much for walking us through that
Yeah.
insane wild ride that is
Yeah.
how Ryan Cook got to be where he is today.
Yeah. And thank you for even, letting me tell the story here. It's great to meet you.
Absolutely. And you too.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that a lot of people got to know, where you come
Yeah.
from and you. And so now, fast forward,
Yeah.
you are going on tour with Ace this
We
fall.
are finally, like I said earlier, December 14th, 2019 in, I think it was Michigan, was the last show we had.
Hmm.
The plan was to take December 15th, 2019 through March 31st, 2020 off and go back on tour April 1st of 2020. And then
Yeah.
COVID hit. So we know that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But here we are. And man, I'm so excited. And again, this is just another one of those things to me that I just can't, I'm pitching myself. I did open for Cooper more than a handful of times when I was in Hair of the Dog.
Hmm.
Um, but this is different. Those were one-offs here and there on a tour over different years. This is us actually going on tour together and doing it. Like I said, it
Yeah.
starts, we're going to go to New Jersey for a few days before the tour starts and rehearse with Ace, because Ace lives in New Jersey now.
Hmm.
And then the tour begins in Guilford, New Hampshire on September 18th, and it ends in Tupelo, Mississippi on the 22nd.
Hmm.
And we were saying earlier, I'm going to be in your neighborhood.
Yes, Fort Worth, Texas.
So, yeah.
Oh
And
man.
anybody who doesn't know the dates can go to, I think it's acefrehley.com. You'll see something that looks like this.
Yeah. Oh, look at you. You have it all printed out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And this is the current itinerary,
Hmm.
which I don't expect you to be able to read. But like I said, you'll see something like this. Just anybody. It's so funny because I get things all the time. If something gets mentioned, are you coming here? Are you coming there? Are you going to be? There's this thing called the internet.
Hmm. Or
And
things
you
that
can,
I post regularly, you
yeah,
know?
yeah. And you know what? And I'm also saying that in good fun because I know people are asking because they're excited. Like, oh my God, are you going to?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that being said, you can go to Ace Frehley's official website, Alice Cooper's official website, Live Nation. This is a Live Nation tour.
Hmm.
So you can go to Live Nation site, or if you just Google Ace Frehley, Alice Cooper Fall 2021, floodgates open.
Yes.
So it's easy to find out when and where we will be in your town. And I
Hmm.
expect that and hope that you will be at that show.
I will, yes, I will be there.
Good,
Absolutely. And
good.
here's the thing about this show, because
Yeah,
it's a big deal
yeah,
after COVID.
yeah,
So, concerts, like smaller things, started to creep back up, this
yeah.
year and everything. And now tours are being announced. And I'm talking like big tours, people like
Stadium tours.
stadium tours, Motley Crue, of course, the stadium tour, bands like the Rolling Stones, the Foo Fighters, Green Day,
Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks, yeah, and Alice Cooper and the Ace
Yeah,
Frehley band.
Kiss just resumed their farewell tour 2 nights ago
Mm-hmm.
on August 18th, and they're playing
Mm-hmm.
tonight again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yep,
And so after being cooped up in tours, like the concept of tours completely being like put to a halt because of COVID and everything,
yeah,
we never expected that. And now things are starting to like be advertised and put right in front of us. Like the excitement that concert goers are feeling right now is
yeah.
crazy, is
It
through
really
the
is.
roof. So are you guys prepared for the energy that the crowd is going to throw at you? Because this right
I can't
here
wait.
is going to be something so different and so
Yeah,
special.
I can't wait. I know that people are dying to get back out and see live music again, and we're dying to get out and play it again, just as
Mm-hmm.
much. And I can't wait. I
Mm-hmm.
cannot wait. And I understand that it's a different time. No one could have ever predicted that things would be the way they are right now.
Mm-mm.
And I know that. And I want to thank everybody for their patience with each, all I can ask is everybody, please be patient with each other I never talk about politics. I never talk about religion. I never talk about anything that, if you're going to come visit anything that I do on social media, it's about entertainment and I want you to smile. Okay.
Mhm.
It doesn't mean that I don't think about those things in my private life, my private time, but it's nothing that I want to engage with anybody on via social media. That's not my role.
Yeah.
That being said, it's just everybody needs to know, look at things like Live Nation, like AEG Presents and all that kind of stuff. There are different protocols these days to go to shows. And, people just have to make a personal decision for themselves and not their neighbor,
Yeah.
and decide how they want to do it and what they need to do if they're going to go to the shows. And I respect anybody's decision that they do for themselves. I just hope to see as many smiling faces out there as we can, because it's going to be great.
Yeah, exactly. And I was also going to bring that because a lot of the questions that I got when I kind of opened the board up for the fans and the listeners, a lot
Right.
of it was COVID related. I mean,
Yes,
understandably, but you
I
also
get it.
gotta understand, like, the bands themselves are not the people that set the guidelines or the rules. So,
Right.
depending
Right.
whatever state you're in, just a reminder, like, look at
Yeah,
your particular venue, your
exactly.
state regulations, don't come after the band, please.
Yeah.
They're
Do
just
your,
trying to have you guys have a good time and doing what they
exactly.
can.
Yeah. And, and please, and thank you for saying that, because we don't make the rules,
Hmm.
and the mandates, but we are expected to follow them if we are going to tour.
Yeah.
So that being said, I really hope that, like I said, everybody just please be patient with each other. I hate to see, um, one person vilify another because what they believe or don't believe or whatever. It's like, it just comes down to a decision of, if you want to go to a certain show, you're going to need to abide by what the mandate is for that show. And that
Yes.
has nothing to do with the band. It just has to do with, the alternative is there will be no shows at all.
Yeah. What would you rather
And
have,
what would you rather have? So we're
Yeah.
going to go along with the, and believe it or not, I didn't even know this existed. Traveling with us on this tour, we are having what is called a CDC COVID compliance officer
An off.
traveling
Okay.
on our
With you
tour
guys throughout the
with the,
tour.
yeah.
Okay.
Everybody on the band and crew will be tested multiple times a week.
Oh.
We are basically going to be in a bubble to
Huh.
make sure the tour stays on track
Okay.
and keeps running, and everybody stays healthy and not infected. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
who would ever thought that would happen?
Right.
But if that's the way that it has to be for me to go on tour, bring it on.
Yeah. And that's
Bring it
really
on.
good also, because I was also going to say, you guys, like, hats off to you for postponing the tour till like later, like because, tours that were supposed to be happening during the time the COVID was like spiked and we started
Exploded.
going into quarantine, they were like, oh, we'll reschedule off to like 3 months later. Of course, that didn't end up happening. And especially with bands like you guys, like Ace and Alice, they're in that age bracket where you really got
Absolutely.
to be careful, you
Absolutely.
know?
Absolutely. And I do realize it's like, I've been selfish before in my life. I mean, I gotta admit it, I'll own up to it. Uh, but this, I do realize the whole thing, the vaccine and stuff for me, and the mask and what we have to do to go on tour, it isn't just for me.
Yeah.
It's for everybody that's involved in our entire circle and all that.
Mhm.
And I appreciate that, because everybody that works with us is doing the same thing I'm doing. It's not like I'm the only person in the world that this has been thrust upon and I have to do this. It's
Right.
everybody, you
Right.
know. So, you know, like I said, whatever keeps us touring and keeps us on track and getting to see people like you and everything, we're excited about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Oh man.
Yeah.
So talking about the upcoming tour also, something that has been new into the mix since the last time that you guys toured with Ace.
Yeah.
We'll call that era BC, not before Christ, but before COVID. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
It is the release of Origins Volume 2
Yeah.
from Ace.
Yeah.
Is it safe to say, safe to assume that we're going to hear a little something off of that
Yep.
on the fall
Yeah.
tour?
Oh yeah. Well,
Yay! Okay.
here's the funny thing too, is the set list. I have an idea of
Mm-hmm.
what's going to be on it, but I haven't received confirmation that this is the set. So I've
Okay.
just been sitting here going over everything. Anything I think we might play,
Okay.
I've been going over all of it. And the
Uh-huh.
cool thing is, like I told you, we were supposed to go out to support that album in April of 2020. So in
Mm-hmm.
essence, this is kind of the tour for that record. I mean,
Yep.
it took a while to get to the tour. The record's been out for a long time now.
Yeah.
But in a way, this is the Origins 2 support tour. So yeah, just like you, I'm kind of sitting here anxiously awaiting like what off that record is going to be in the set
Yeah.
list. So I don't
Okay. So I was about to
know.
ask, so you don't know. So okay. Go listen to the record and we'll
Yeah,
see. We'll see what happens.
yeah,
Off of that record, there is one song that really stands out to me as far as
yep,
attitude. I don't know
yep.
if you feel the same way, but Lola.
Oh God, I
That
love
is
it.
my favorite thing off of that album.
You know what? You and I are on the same page on that because, as you know, and especially Kiss fans know, Ace
Mm-hmm.
himself is a character.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, his voice and his dialect and his accent, just all those things involved. He has a very distinct characteristic in his voice and the way he talks.
Yes.
There's something about the delivery of the Lola vocal that is so endearing to me in a heartwarming way and a comical way. Both.
Yes.
It makes me smile because I'm happy to hear it, and it makes me laugh too because there's just such a way he pronounces certain words and the delivery of that lyric and stuff that just cracked me up. I mean, I really wish I could have been there when he cut that vocal because that
Yeah.
song makes me happy in so many different ways. That's a good one.
I am so happy that you brought up that and like the delivery and his vocals and how it makes you smile almost like in a comical way, because I made a connection in my head when I heard that song and I was like, this is giving me a feeling that I've had before. And then I pinpointed it. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Get Him to the Greek.
Oh, hell yes.
With okay, so Aldous Snow, right?
Yeah.
And like his
Yeah.
final performance when he like gets his shit together and like everyone loves the music that he's playing. I don't know why it gives me the same vibe that Lola gives me. It's like it's kind of comical, but it's like so good and everybody loves it. And you just
Oh,
want to go like
yeah.
Lola.
Yep.
It
I
gives me
get
the
it.
same energy. And like, I don't know how to exactly describe it, but it's all in the attitude and delivery of that song. I love
It
it.
really is. And now you've got me wanting to. I need to go see that movie again this weekend now. It's been a couple of years since I've
Yes.
seen it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. So
That's good.
awesome.
Yeah.
Is that your favorite song off of that record? Is Lola or
Man, it depends on what day of the week man, I really love Robin Zander's performance of Humble Pie's 30 Days in the Hole.
mm-hmm.
Because I'm such a Cheap Trick fan
Yeah.
and I'm such a Robin Zander fan. That's kind of my front runner on there just because it's Robin.
Mm-hmm.
I really love
Mm-hmm.
that one. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're all,
Awesome.
but the whole record is good. Really cool choice of tunes on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think Ace does a really good job at picking the
Yeah.
songs that
He sure does.
he is going to execute on these cover albums.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome. Yeah. I really enjoy that record. I still listen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh
It's
man.
good.
So kind of adding on to the set list I mean, I know you don't exactly know what the set list is for this
I
fall
know.
tour, but kind of comparing to the last few times that you've played with Ace, for people that are listening that haven't seen the Ace Frehley band tour,
Yeah.
whenever an original member of a band, a founding member, goes off and does their solo thing, fans are left
Mhm.
wondering, what's the set list going to look like? Like, is it going to be heavily like Kiss covers or also Ace like playing
Right.
his solo things? Could you kind of give us an idea? Like, is
Sure.
it a mix? One
Of
more heavy
course.
than the other? You know, what
Of
can
course.
fans kind of expect if they're trying to go see the show?
Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll give you an example real quick with Gene. Like with Gene, we did a lot of really deep cuts that Kiss would not do live, but they
Mm,
were Gene songs, like
mm-hmm.
Gene songs. Like for example, with Gene, we never did an Ace Frehley song.
Okay.
Well, actually, I'm a liar. Anything that Ace sang, like we didn't do "Shock
Mm,
Me," for example, with Gene, but we did do something like "Parasite" and "Cold Gin," which Ace wrote.
mm-hmm.
You with me?
Yeah.
So then going into Ace's set, it's the same way. Ace didn't necessarily have to sing a Kiss song on a Kiss record, but if it's something he wrote, we'll do it. Good Cold Gin,
Mm-hmm.
Ace Frehley song, but Gene sang it. We do that. Parasite, Ace Frehley song, but Gene sang it with Kiss. We do that.
Mm-hmm.
But then we also do stuff like New York Groove off of Ace's 78 solo. We do Rip It Out off of Ace's solo, 78 solo. We'll do Rock Soldiers off of Frehley's Comet after he left Kiss.
Mm-hmm.
We did pull a couple things out though. For example, like we were doing Watching You, which was a Gene song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some nights we would pull out Detroit. Some nights we'd do Love Gun. But we did everything like Speeding Back to My Baby. We do Hard Times off of Dynasty, 2000 Man. So most of his stuff is from the Ace Frehley stuff from the Kiss catalog, more so than the solo stuff after he left Kiss. So it's more Kiss fans would be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like you, I'm excited. I have a good idea what's going to be in the set, but it hasn't been confirmed yet. So I'm just sitting here at home playing everything I think we might play.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I'm sure like everybody else at home is like playing everything that you guys might play in preparation for the tour.
And I know
well.
everyone has a wish list, and I want the fans to know, trust me when I tell you that just like you, I'm pulling for some of the deeper album cuts that you don't hear all the time. But, it's just not up to me. And I am not the boss. It is not my band. But I promise you, everything we play is going to sound great, and you're going to have a great time, and you will really enjoy the show. I just know it.
Yes. Oh, awesome. So go get your tickets, everybody that is listening. Go get your tickets. Oh my God. It's going to be such
it is
special.
It is a Live Nation tour. So you can find everything out at livenation.com or Ace Frehley's site or Alice Cooper's site. So it's all out there. Yeah.
Awesome. Oh man. So we're kind of ending to like the time limit that we have, which honestly it worked out perfectly because we covered every single thing and it flowed so beautifully. But we do have,
it's because you're a pro, you know what you're doing. So
I'm a pro.
I merely followed your lead. It was great.
Yay. Oh, this was so good. Thank you so much for being here. But
thank you for having me.
Yes, and I do have one more fan comment left.
Sure.
And this is actually from Darcy again. So coming back to Darcy, but I thought it was a really great ender to this. So, and we talked about how you're always smiling and so positive. And before like we started recording, I was like, yeah, this is like an amazing person to follow on social media. Like,
thanks.
Like, this is great. And so Darcy said this. I've known Ryan for like 20 years. And I've never heard him speak ill of anybody ever. A beautiful character trait, seemingly most are void of in the music industry. She wants to know what your life philosophy is.
Oh my
if
God.
you have one.
Well, first of all,
hard question, but
first of all, I want to thank her for saying that. That's really sweet. I mean, that really makes me feel good and humbled. That's really nice. It's nice to know someone would think that about you. So thank you. I appreciate that. I don't want to say that I've ever had a philosophy on life, like I've written something down or told somebody these are words to live by or something. I honestly am not a fan of receiving unsolicited advice or
Mm,
giving advice unasked for. You know what I mean? I don't just go off
mhm.
telling people what to do or that kind of thing. That being said, though, I will tell you, I've always tried to like be glass half full about any situation. I always try to find the good in something, and if something that I did didn't work out, I will literally stand back and look at it and ask myself what I did wrong to fix it and then to learn from it.
Mm,
And also just to treat people the way you want to be treated. Like I really think that's just the biggest rule to live by, because it really does bum me out to see as good as social media can be. I really bums me out to see people treat each other badly,
yeah.
especially strangers. How can you treat someone you don't even know from a keyboard, uh, and try to say something hurtful to them or to ruin their day or to do something to them? And I just,
Yeah.
and I can tell you with a clear conscience, you can look through everything I've ever done on social media, and I'm human. I think crappy things about people sometimes, and I have crappy thoughts and all that. But I promise you that I've never gone and publicly attacked anybody or
Mm,
said anything derogatory in a non-joking way or anything
mhm,
to somebody. It's just treat people the way you want to be treated, and I think you'll end up being pretty happy. Hopefully,
mhm.
you're gonna hit bumps. All of us are gonna have a hard time. Anybody that you picture right now that you think has a perfect life and you wish you were them, they're going through something right now.
Mhm.
I know that. I just know it. It's life
Mhm.
and it happens. And I think just try to be positive and be nice.
Yeah.
Don't be a doormat. Stand up for yourself when you need to, but just treat people the way you want to be treated. And that's just my biggest thing. I always try
Mhm.
to. I hope
Mhm.
I hope that I hope I can always live up to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. And what a great answer, by the way, to a particularly kind of difficult question to answer. But
Thanks.
I literally do believe that you live by what you exactly just said, because I've followed
Yeah.
you online for a while, and
Yeah.
I'm with Darcy. Like, I've never seen anything negative. All I've ever seen
Right.
is complete 100% positivity from you, which is
Thank you.
always great to have on your newsfeed. Like, literally, like
Yeah.
Ryan Spencer Cook, like any like social media thing that he has, anything he posts is like a ray of sunshine
Oh, that's
to
great.
have on your newsfeed. So of course, like we're gonna tag your social media handles like down below. So anyone that
Okay.
is just now like being introduced to Ryan, you can give him a follow, because honestly, like what are you doing at this point? Like go follow him. He's a great person to have in your circle. Like if
Thank
you
you.
haven't picked that up throughout this interview, like you have been an
Yeah.
absolute delight to talk to.
Likewise.
Such a
Likewise.
genuinely like beautiful person.
Thank
And
you.
I am so excited to see you in Fort Worth, because I will be there, as
Awesome.
everybody else that is listening should, wherever
Yeah.
you are in the world. Go get your
Yeah.
tickets, go get them now. That fall tour is coming and it's going to
Yeah.
be amazing.
It is. Thank you so much. And be in touch, because I will send you that record. I promise.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I've never forgotten about that. I'm still giddy about it. I've kept my cool, but I'm like, you
Right.
know.
Great. Awesome. That's
Oh
so good.
man. Well, Ryan, thank you so much for your time. It
And
has
thank you. I mean, I
been,
really do appreciate it. Like I said, this is, you and I just meeting and everything. But best of luck to you with your show
thank
and
you.
everything. And I will tell my band friends how cool it was.
Yes.
And best of luck to you. And I know it's Friday night. You probably have big plans. So thanks for letting me, be a part of your weekend, and everybody that watched.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Ryan. This has been
Okay.
a blast. And yeah, everybody go follow Ryan. We'll put all of his info below, and we will keep in touch, and we'll all
Awesome.
see you on tour.
Awesome. I'll see you
All
soon in Fort
right.
Worth.
Yes,
All right.
absolutely. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This has been a very special interview episode of Rock and Rewind with Ryan Spencer Cook. My name is Janine, and we're signing out. Take
Thanks,
care.
Janine. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.